We're at the World of Concrete for 2024, and we're in the DeWalt booth with what I think is some of the most exciting new offerings in the tool industry. We have two special guests that are going to go over all of it with us. You've seen them both on the channel before, and I'm excited to have them both here. Ricky.
Yes. Vince.
It is great to be here with you.
Oh, it's good to have you here, buddy.
Power Shift. I'm super excited about it.
550 watt-hour battery here.
I feel it.
Yeah.
That's why.
Yeah, it's what? It's 11.5 pounds, pouch cell technology.
Oh,
yeah,
he's giving us the goods. I love it.
Yeah,
all right.
So really slick setup here with this. I mean, it's all about power, ergonomics, and runtime.
Yeah.
If you can't deliver on that, I don't think you have a good electrified system.
Look at the size
Yeah.
of those connections in it. I love.
This battery, right? 5,000 thermally stable watts coming out of this thing, man. That's like the equivalent of a 6.5 horsepower gas engine. So like, if you think about the places we'll go and the things we'll power, like let your mind go wild.
You know, it's funny. So I saw some press materials, and none of it actually, it talked about like watts and all, but none of it talked about horsepower.
Yeah.
And I think when we get into small equipment like this, for apples to apples, it makes sense to talk in those terms, no?
Yeah, exactly. So you got a lot of energy.
Yes.
Now you got to put it back in. You got to charge it.
Yes.
So this is our brand new charger.
Yo, look at the size of that.
Yeah, big turbo.
Yo, it's like a bus bar.
Yeah.
On an electrical, like a huge electrical panel. It's big.
It is, and so we can charge this 0.5 kilowatt battery pack.
Yes.
In under an hour.
That's really awesome.
This is our standard charger. You don't have to like go buy a special one. Like, dude, day one.
You said this is a standard. Is there a plan for a rapid charger?
Let's see what the future holds, Vince.
I like
you know?
it. I like it.
But this is what we'll launch with.
Okay.
Here's the other big thing. We know that site power can be really tricky sometimes.
Sure.
But, you know, if you're going to electrify, you also need to recharge.
Yes.
Make sense?
Yeah, totally.
You can put two of these on a single 15 amp circuit.
And not blow it.
And not trip it. That's right. So this will also connect to our ToughSystem. So, right, on our rolling box, that half box.
I like that.
So you can store your packs inside the rolling box. You can clip two chargers on the top, right? You can go out to the job wherever you are, keep your pack safe. If you want to have a stationary mount, you'll notice that we've got holes, so that way you can either mount it against a wall.
Yeah.
Or you can mount it flat. Let's keep moving.
Yes, sir.
I'll trade you. And so, you know,
I'm gonna just spoiler alert. This is when I saw that this was part of the system.
Yeah.
I really thought to myself, they really, you know, DeWalt has its users in mind.
Yeah, backwards compatibility has always been at the forefront of our mind. When we launched, you know, our 20 volt max system, we had an 18 volt to 20 volt max adapter.
Yep.
When we did flex volt, you could go between 20 volt and 60 volt power tools. And now with Power Shift, you have the ability to bridge between.
This is great. The connection is robust. I love it.
Yeah, so you have the ability now, and our users look at this like it's a get out of jail free card.
We could use this to extend the runtime. We can't use it to power this equipment, but it will extend the runtime. Is that correct?
Yeah, so it'll give you, you know, depending on the product, another 10 or 15 minutes of runtime.
But that is additional time to get the job complete. It's also, if you're leveraging these multiples, it might be one or two packs that you don't need to buy of Power Shift, and it's saving you money. I like it. I think it's thoughtful.
It's our 132-pound rammer, and you can compact up to 18 inches of soil with this thing.
Okay.
It's unbelievably powerful. We put a sealed brushless motor on it.
Okay.
All right. I mean, I'll tell you, on Tuesday morning, it was wet out here.
Sure.
We were the only ones out here running and making noise. We were working through it, you know?
Yeah.
The other big thing is, when we look at this, we did a patented soft start. If you ever run a gas one of these things, you get it going, it kind of can get like a bucking Bronco.
Sure.
This thing is so smooth, it starts up so easy. I mean, you have like the most control with our rammer. The other big thing that we did is all of the controls between the rammers and the plate compactors all function the same.
As far as serviceability, let's
Yeah.
just say something happens.
Sure.
Which this thing has got a nice roll cage here. I can't imagine
Yeah.
like, but just say on the off chance switching was damaged.
Sure.
What do we do? We bring it into a local.
Yeah, just go into the local DeWalt service center and they'll be able to fix it right up. I mean, that's the
awesome.
beauty of it, right?
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah. This is great. We doing a demo? We doing a demo? Am I doing a demo?
You run it. I know how it works.
Thank you very much.
We care about your hearing, Vince. We love you.
Ricky wanted to put these in before the interview started, he said. That's what he said.
So it's an in and down.
Oh, in and down here.
Yep.
Okay.
I'll fire it up real quick to show you, and
Beautiful.
then you're off to the races.
Thank you.
High and a low.
Okay.
So in.
Oh, wow. Nice. Oh, it stopped. Gotcha.
Really clean, really simple.
Yeah.
Not complex.
Yeah.
Which
Well,
is fun.
good. I'm like a caveman. That's good. Tool is tuned, and the power's being transmitted into what I'm working on instead of the person working on it.
Yeah, you
means-
got to take care of your body.
Yes.
You got to keep your hands working. That's how you make money. You got to stay in the trades a while.
Well, thank you for you saying it instead of me having to say it,
Yeah,
but it's the
no.
truth.
Yeah, and we believe that, and that's why everything you see that we do is focused around that.
Yes.
Same sealed motor and sealed electronics that you saw on the rammer, you see on this. This is our forward plate compactor.
Okay.
Okay, either 3,300 foot-pounds of impact force or 15 kilonewton. 40 centimeter plate, so about 17-inch long plate. Again, same controls though, right? Our wheel kit will come on it day one.
Okay.
We'll also include the water tank, and so water tank's really important for those that are doing edges with asphalt, right? Because if you don't have water, the plate will stick to the asphalt. We've also seen a lot of our site prep guys, and they're wanting to keep the dust down.
Yes.
They don't look like pig pen, you know? So.
Yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah, the other thing that we did here, though, if you notice this angle on the handle, we set it up so that way it kind of forces you to lift it a little bit with your hands. Because we want you off the stops. You'll notice the giant isolators. You don't want to put the vibration into your hands.
Gotcha.
Right, so we push you to not do that.
Gotcha.
Right,
It's
so
not,
again, we're talking protecting the body.
yeah.
That's what we're trying to do.
We push in and down.
Yep, that handle will roll right forward too for storage and for lifting.
Your lift spots are built in.
Yeah, already all lifted in, and then if you do have to grab it by hand, up front we've got a dedicated lift spot. So it's like, hey, so you can use the adapter on any one of the Power Shift tools. It's not like, oh, you can use it on this but not that.
Yes.
The adapter works on all tools. We recommend the 15 amp hour for the best experience.
Sure.
We know there's a ton of 9s out there. But like anything else, right? The larger the gas tank, the longer anything will run. So
while we're here,
you want to try to run it with the adapter?
Can you show us how it gets put on and installed?
Sure. Yeah. Honestly, I think you should do it because it's that easy.
So wait a minute. I'm all right. This is the adapter, right? The flexible battery's in here, and then we're just installing it here.
Done.
Okay. Now this is the part I think everybody was confused about. All right, we're gonna start it like normal. That's all I had to do.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's the deal, bro. I think from the press materials that we had, we were all under the assumption that this adapter somehow fit onto that battery and it was just to extend the runtime of a pack.
No, it's the tool. So it's like I said, it's your get out of jail free card. Like, hey man, my guys forgot to charge your battery, or hey, you know what? I depleted my packs. I got like 3 more minutes, 5 more minutes, 10 more minutes, whatever it is, right? To do something.
Yeah.
Go get one of my flexible packs, pop it in and go. So we've compacted our base.
Yes.
Let's go build on that base, okay? We got our garden, our feng shui garden over here, right? We raked it all out.
Yeah.
So
can I make a little?
If it would make your heart happy,
it will soothe my soul.
So we are delivering to the market a chassis.
Yes.
We are not delivering bars. We understand that the contractor has thousands and thousands of dollars in bars, and the ones that they like and the ones that they love.
Okay.
I'm not here to tell you what's the best one to use. Okay?
That's awesome.
And so the team, you'll notice we have on this screed right here, as he's running it, we have one of the extrusion styles.
Okay.
The bar over there is one of the L-shaped styles. You know, not every job's the same, and you change the bars around a lot.
Yeah.
So there's these little aluminum caps, these sealed caps on the end.
Okay.
Yeah, we patented that to capture the hardware, because when you have to change them out, typically you're actually going through hardware because it gets all caked up with the concrete.
Sure.
When you go take it out, you strip the threads, and now it's a problem. With ours, you don't run into that because it's sealed. You just come right through the back.
Yeah.
Remove the fastener, and it's a really pretty drama-free experience.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. This one we have set narrow, that one we have set narrow, the other one we set up there wide.
Yes.
We set it up because everybody has a different shape, size, and body, and what they like and what they love.
Yes.
You can configure this, you know, throttle on the right, throttle on the left, narrow, wide, whatever you like, we can set up. And it's easy for the operator or the user to do. It's pretty incredible. I mean, it's got more than enough power to push a 16-foot bar.
Yeah.
And when we talk power, you can break a cold joint with this. A fresh cold joint you can break with this screen.
Okay.
We're seeing like 90 plus minutes of runtime on this on a single battery charge.
That's awesome.
That's continuous. That's not on, off, on, off, on, off like you see in the cycle. That's like zip tie the throttle on and go 90 minutes without stopping. You can run this unit. This is our backpack vibrator. We also,
so you have two flavors of vibrator, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Backpack and power pack. And so, I mean, here's the big thing to know, or 2 big things to know. 60 minutes of continuous runtime. 5 pounds lighter than gas, and it will run for 30% longer than gas. So we use a high-frequency brushless motor in here that spins the eccentric, and that's how we go and extend this runtime and really go and put out at a high level. I mean, our users today are going, that our development partners are going absolutely crazy over what we've delivered. Something unique that we're doing is this connection. It's a patented connection for us. We're gonna have heads and shafts available up to 21 feet long. And so this connection spins 360 because we know it can get really hard to manipulate them. Boom, so you get it close enough, you align it, and then you push down and you lock it and go. You'll notice that on our harness, we run high vis on any of these tools that we know are used quite often at night.
Sure.
We want the worker to be seen.
That's good.
It's absolutely critical. And so this is all high vis reflective. All Power Shift tools will have hidden reflectivity. It just looks like it's black.
But when you're
at night.
But at night,
these accents will all light up because they get hit
even
with
on
a
the battery.
flashlight
I
everywhere.
like that.
We've done it on all of them because.
When you're rounding up at the end of the night, you're like, oh, where's that last battery?
Yeah,
you find it easier.
Well, how about if I made that easier? What if I told you that all of Power Shift is fully connected? Packs and tools are all connected with integrated connectivity.
That's awesome.
Where's my stuff? How much of it do I have? Right, so you'll hit those 2 features day 1. Shortly after launch, we're going to deliver utilization. Okay. So if you're a business owner, right, you'll know how often you're using that equipment. You'll notice those little black boxes on the corner.
Oh, I see that.
Yeah, That's the DeWalt gateway. And so we're pinging. I can see how long this specific vibrator ran yesterday, how many batteries in and out, how many minutes.
Right.
I know everything about this tool.
That is awesome.
And then we have the Power Pack vibrator. This is the
So
other.
this is the backpack, this is the
Yep.
the power pack.
Yep, so anything going flat work, anything horizontal, think anything vertical, like our columns over there.
Gotcha.
And so, you know, all the awesome stuff that the backpack had is also in here,
Okay.
plus one more thing, wireless tool control. So you can turn it on manually. I put it in wireless tool control mode. Now I can remotely operate the vibrators.
I love the option.
Yeah, exactly. So when we launch this, we're going to launch 4 different head sizes. We'll have 2 3/8, 2 inch, 1 3/4, and 1.5 inches. And then we'll have shaft lengths available at 7 foot, 10 foot, 16 foot, and 21 foot day one. So you'll have a combination
That's a lot of options, a lot of solutions.
So this is our brand new 6-inch core drill, Vince, and this thing is awesome.
Dude, I saw pictures of it at first. I'm like, wow, that thing is compact.
You pull it off the stand,
Yeah,
you can use flexible on it,
that's awesome.
right? So the same
Right,
batteries that are-
directly on, no adapter, no
Dude,
nothing.
I'm gonna
That
plug
is-
in, this is it.
That is awesome.
Right? The core drill itself has anti-rotation technology because it's part of our Perform and Protect line. You know, it's got the 3-speed transmission, which, come on, you gotta have, but big thing is, you know, nice oversight so you can see, hey, here's how I can get the best performance out of my product.
I like that.
Right? Handhelds, right? You got your water connection, and then this is how you adjust the water, so that way you never have to
flow.
take the tool out of
That's awesome.
your hand. See this?
So that's the connectivity, right?
That talks to this water tank.
Oh, I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
But this thing is compact and
Yeah.
versatile. I love light and handy, bro. This
So-
is great.
Here's what's great about this. When you put it on the stand,
Yes.
or even handheld, this has the closest to wall or to ceiling clearance in the whole industry, Vince. When you put it on the stand, controls,
Yeah.
right and left and right are all the same.
Ambidextrous.
Absolutely. This is all available in September. The core bits will be available in the February-March timeframe.
That's
so
nice.
we'll have our own line.
I love how it's marked out too, the graduations.
So water tank will also be available in March. 9-inch cutoff saw,
Yes.
our DCS 692.
This will work with that.
This will work with that. So the tens of thousands of those saws that are out in the market today, they don't need to go buy a new saw, Vince. So this is Power Shift. These are the 6 tools that will come, available in September. Everything will be sold as a kit, right? So it's 2 Power Shift packs,
Sure.
right? And a charger. The adapter is available separately. The core drill will be the only one that's a little different because you can buy it as a handheld unit.
Okay.
And that'll come with those 15 amp hour packs. Or you can buy it as the stand configuration. It'll be the drill, stand, 2 packs, and the charger.
So me personally, this is one that I've actually been in the market for. I need a new core drill. Cost-wise, can you give me a cost for those configurations?
So on the unit on the stand will live around somewhere between $5,500 and $6,000.
Okay, beautiful. Perfect, that's great stuff.
Yeah.
Is that all Power Shift?
This is Power Shift.
I want more. I guess we're gonna have to wait a little bit for the rollout. And if you want more, then smash the like button. It's free for you to do. It doesn't cost you a dime. Plus, you'll get 7 years of good luck. Ricky, I want to say thank you for
My
having
man.
us in the booth and all the information. Listen, you're probably upset that the video's over like I am. I did want more. Good news is that we have more DeWalt coming up right after this. You're gonna love it. We're at the World of Concrete for 2024, and we're in the Milwaukee booth with Brandon, who's got a whole bunch of new innovations. So many innovations, he said this is going to be a feature-length film, so strap yourself in. Brandon, what do you got for us?
We got the world's first battery construction submersible pump. The MX Fuel 1 horsepower 2-inch submersible pump. This pump pumps anywhere with no generator. On your GC job sites, there's a lot of mobile pumping. You gotta drag a generator around. Now with this solution, simple backpack, pick up the pump. Now you can go pump out puddles, forms, trenches, you name it. On top of that, saves time and pumps longer because we've got electronics. You can run this pump in high, get 20 minutes over 2,000 gallons.
Wow.
Or tune it down to low. You're gonna extend your run time all the way up to 2 hours and over 5,000 gallons.
Wow.
We also have auto shutoff. This pump will automatically detect when the water goes below the impeller and it'll turn that pump off. Now you don't gotta worry about your pumps running dry and burning out. And then it'll detect when that water's back on and turn the pump back on again.
That's awesome. So it's a built-in fluid.
You got it, yep. It'll adapt to flow too. What I'm holding here is the remote for the 2-inch, 1 horsepower submersible pump. The cool thing about this, not only can you turn the pump on and off remotely, but it provides the notifications to the user. It lets you know battery status, it'll alert you if there's low battery. If there's low water, it'll alert you, and it shows what mode it's pumping. Not only does it light up, it'll also vibrate. So you can put this in your pocket, walk away, and you'll be notified when the pump changes status or you need to go check on it.
Awesome. You're talking about 2,000 gallons in 20 minutes, and then 5,000 gallons in how many hours?
2 hours.
2 hours. Which battery are they doing that on?
That's with our XC60 battery. So if you upgrade to our HD12, those times will even double.
Okay. What is price point?
Yep. So this is gonna come fully kitted with an XC battery, our standard charger, the pump console, and the submersible pump for $24.99, and it'll be available in July of 2024.
Awesome.
I'm gonna pull the plate over,
Whoa.
and then we'll talk about both of them.
Nice. You're telling me that this battery operated.
Yep. Most productive. We have the fastest travel speed without sacrificing compaction. We are still delivering the same compaction that you'd expect from your competitive gasoline 70 kg rammers.
Wow. So when we're buying this, right, it's kitted with the forged lithium?
You got it. This will come kitted just like our plate compactor with 2 HD12 batteries. Those are the largest, most powerful batteries we make, as well as our supercharger.
What if I had some non-forged batteries? Can I run my rammer on that?
Absolutely. You're just gonna see less run time, right?
So less run time.
Yep. So this is our HD12 compared to a 6.0. You should expect the run time to essentially half.
Okay.
Yep. But the point is, in the event that you're in a pinch, you need to finish up a job and you've got an XC60 sitting there,
Yeah.
you can pick that up, slide it in, and finish out your job.
That's great. We won't see it, like there's no, so I'm saying like there's no reason not to run those batteries. There's no loss in performance, it's just a runtime thing.
Yep, that's correct.
All right, cool. Can I give her a test run?
Yeah, you bet.
I'm gonna put it on.
Yep. This is an incredibly balanced tool.
I'll say.
So much that if I get it running on flat ground, we also have tip detect, which is a pretty cool safety feature. It'll automatically shut off if you lose control of the tool.
That is cool. I gotta hand it to you. This thing is, it's pretty awesome.
It's a fun tool.
It is.
Yeah.
You know what though? I gotta tell you, I could use one of these. I could use one of these compactors. So I'm gonna have to take a good look at it. Are you running it or am I?
Cool, man. You want to run it? Take it.
Same thing as before?
Same thing with one difference. We're the only plate compactor in the market with reverse now.
I wouldn't have even considered running a 1/2-inch cordless drill because it wasn't powerful enough.
Yeah.
To see how far we've come with batteries, look where we're running now.
Yeah.
It is really, really impressive.
That's the capability of our MX system, and especially with our new red lithium ion forged batteries. So on our 20s plate compactor with an HD12, you get 35 continuous minutes of runtime, but because of our travel speed, that's over 5,000 square feet, over a basketball court on one battery. On the rammer, you have over 25 minutes of runtime, which translates to over 1/4 mile of continuous linear feet of compaction. Cool feature about this too, simple folding handlebar. You can drop it down, hook it, strap it, carry it across the job site. It'll fit under most tonneau covers.
That's
when
awesome.
you're not using it, you can slide it under a shelf for storage. There's no gas headaches. We've removed the engine. No choking, no priming, no pulling. But more importantly, there's a ton of compaction that happens indoors.
Yeah.
So no gas headaches, no breathing in those fumes.
This is important stuff to me. I think it would be important to them too. So
Yeah.
I never want to gloss over that stuff. It's that attention to detail that makes the difference between
Yeah.
Milwaukee and maybe other brands.
Beyond compaction, beyond site prep, everything we do at Milwaukee is focused on delivering productivity and improved safety on the job site. That's always core. When we're going to go into a new product, a new tool, a new piece of equipment, we're constantly thinking, how can we improve productivity and the safety standards around this type of equipment?
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think the tradespeople appreciate that.
So the plate compactor is available today. The full kit with 2 HD12 batteries and a supercharger retails for $54.99.
Okay.
The rammer's going to be available later this summer. Same kit configuration with 2 HD12 batteries and a supercharger. It's going to retail for $64.99. Where we may have been a little challenged compared to gas on runtime,
Yeah.
because we have had that longer runtime, that faster recharge cycle, now we're expanding our ability to be more a replacement, not just a supplemental solution, and when we originally launched this program with the XC60 batteries and the CP,
Right.
yeah, in a lot of cases we were more just,
I know what you mean.
yeah, more supplemental, more replacement for those indoor solutions.
Yeah, like the edge scenarios where you couldn't use gas.
Yep, exactly.
It's not that way anymore. You've moved past that, it seems.
We're going to continue to push that dynamic.
We appreciate the time that you spent with us. It's really insightful, and it's really great to kind of get your insight on the direction of the product line in itself.
Yeah, I appreciate you stopping by. It's always a pleasure, man.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
If you
Good seeing you.
appreciate that, then smash the like button. It's free for you to do. It doesn't cost you a dime. Plus, it'll let Brandon know that you want to see more of him on the channel, and that means that we will have him in future videos.
Let's do it.
We need the likes button. Gotta hit it. All right, everybody. We're gonna go over to a high cycle vibrator. We'll see you on the next one.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thanks
brother.
so much, man.
I appreciate
Yeah.
it. We're at World of Concrete for 2024, and we're in the Diablo booth with Russell Cole, who is the CEO. And I gotta tell you, I really appreciate you taking some time to actually talk with us.
You bet.
Russell, every time I come to a show or see the product or even use the products, I say to myself, I can't imagine that there's a way for Diablo to make this product better. And it seems like you are constantly improving. What's the direction? How do you keep this pace up?
Our ability to connect with, we come from the school of if we're willing to listen, our customers are going to tell us everything we didn't know. And so what do we know? We know that this market is very dynamic and changing very quickly. And so as tools have radically changed, whether they're adding more power, maybe they're new in terms of new applications, the whole cordless momentum, the world has shifted for them very significantly. And so what we want to make sure is that we are allowing each tool to realize their full potential.
We're making the power tools better, we're making the job safer, and we're creating productivity and putting real money back in the contractor's pocket. So,
I agree.
masonry drilling, the market was at a 2-cutter insert. Limited technology, because in clean concrete you're okay till that bit wears down. But when you hit rebar, which is not if, it's when you're gonna hit
Yes.
it, you had to go get a rebar cutter, right?
10 years ago, rebar was only around 40 to 45% in structures. Now it's 70, 80, and that's not going to slow down
Yes.
with codes increasing.
Sure.
Another $45, $50, $60 tool, depending on the diameter. And now you got to put your drill in rotary mode, grind your way through there, the clock's ticking, right? And if you're drilling hundreds of holes,
Yeah.
that's a lot of time.
And the other thing is that when you're drilling through that rebar, you don't know how thick it is.
Right.
Eventually, you're going to hit cement or concrete.
Right. And now you got to go back and switch back to your other bit.
Yeah, and if you might have destroyed this bit, no?
That's correct. But with the rebar demon, again, we launched this 3 years ago. That was a breakthrough, right? Because you could hit rebar, just stay in hammer mode, and just keep on rolling.
Straight through. I love this bit.
Right. Now the challenge was on the job site, as you're drilling, you're creating what?
You're creating particulate in the air.
You're putting out particulate out in the air,
Yeah.
right? So why is that bad, right? Now you're exposing the end user, you're exposing who's next to you.
Sure.
You've probably got somebody with if you're gonna deal with it, they're gonna have a vacuum around,
yep.
right? So they're gonna be having to work through that. And then if they're gonna go and set chemical or mechanical anchors,
Yeah.
right? Now they gotta make sure they have a clean hole before they continue.
You got to evacuate that
So
hole.
safety and structural integrity, it's critical that we keep those two things. We want to address those. Now, what happened to the market? The market introduced a hollow bit, right? But you can see it's still a limited amount of carbide. It's a hollow.
Yeah.
So you lose all that structural integrity, and those holes are small, very limited volume. Any kind of moisture, this bit gets clogged up.
Yep.
So now, and these bits are expensive, you know?
Oh yeah.
Right? So you're looking at $15, $16. You get up into a hollow bit, now you're at $70, $80, $100, $200, depending on the diameter. You're over $200. I mean, this bit here is over $200.
Yep, yep.
Right? So now you're clogged up. You got a boot, limited volume coming through. It's not a good situation. And now that dust, you're back to dust is everywhere.
And my whole thing is that if it performed,
Right.
maybe it would be an easier sell. There's so many problems with this bit.
Right.
It becomes a hard sell at $200 a piece.
Yeah. And again, now the dust is in the air.
Yeah.
And you're not properly prepared for your anchor.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay. So let's give it a go. Let's drill a couple holes. You mind drilling for me?
No, I don't mind at all.
All right. So
What are we drilling with? The new solution?
no, I'm going to let you drill with
The old solution.
That's correct. All right. AM3 bar demon. Well, let's talk about anchor installation. Right?
Okay.
Whether we're going chemical for doweling.
Yes.
Right? Whether it's rebar, all thread, whatever it might be. Right. What do you got to do? You got to drill your hole, and then the specifications of the anchor system is a blow brush blow. Right. You got to blow your hole. You got to blush your hole. You got to make sure you got it clean. Right. Now, in the meantime, you're putting all that dust out in the air.
Sure.
Whether you're drilling horizontal, vertical overhead, all those, you're creating a lot of dust in your face. So, yep, right as that. Wow, look at that. One hole. Let's say he's got hundreds to do. You know, that's a lot of dust out there, right?
Absolutely.
Right? Yeah.
Blow, brush, blow.
Yeah, I'll do this because I don't want to do it.
You're
all
gonna
over you. Yeah. All right, I forget which hole it was.
We're right here.
You sure? Yeah?
Yeah.
You good? Yeah. I gotta hit it like 2 or 3 times.
All right, brush.
Yeah. You still got a lot of dust, right?
Yeah. You might want to blow.
Well, you gotta blow it again. You gotta get 2 or 3 more. They're still at incremental, right? You gotta carry these around.
Yeah.
Or you got an air compressor, or you got somebody else, another laborer behind you with a vacuum trying to deal with all that.
Right.
Right? And then you could go installing your rebar, installing your all thread, you're putting your anchors in, right? So it's a lot of time involved. Now, let's go to the real solution. Connect that in there.
We all good?
Yeah. How'd it feel?
That's great.
Yeah?
That's great. Not only was I amazed at the reduced particulate,
Yep.
I feel like the hole drilled a lot faster, easier.
Yep. That's correct, right? More efficiency, right? You're getting that material out of the way.
Yeah.
It's allowing the bit to do its work. So we did have a little surface, right?
Of course.
Right, but now we want to go to our install. That's right. What?
That's great.
Yeah. So I don't even need to brush. I don't need to do this step. Now I can go from drill
Straight to setting
fill.
your fastener.
Drill to fill,
That's awesome.
right? Now, what if you're overhead? You need smaller for tap con sizes, right?
Okay.
Still got a solution. Overhead drilling, and you're allowing that depth, still getting that dust out of the way. You got deep hole drilling. You know, you're putting in number 9 bar for SDS Max.
Yeah.
Again, I got the ability to full carbide head, hitting rebar, keep on going. Getting the dust out of the way, ready for anchoring.
So maybe I'm overseeing something, right?
No, you're not.
What is the cup? What is the cup and spring for? I'm confused.
Yeah, the smaller sizes, right? 3/8 and below, right? Your TapCon mainly 3/16 1/4 inch.
Okay.
But you're also 5/16 quarter, you know, so for 3/8, 5/16 1/4 inch, a lot of times you're up top. Yeah. You saw that surface debris. You want to catch that surface debris.
So that's what it does.
Roger that.
That's awesome.
Let that compress down and get your hole, but you're still getting them. And oh, by the way, I can take this on a little guy, and I can go to the 5/8. I can go to 3/4. I can go to 1 inch SDS plus.
So when this is sold,
right?
This is.
You buy that and the adapter separately.
Okay, so
right?
the adapter comes separate.
Yep.
This comes as a unit.
Yes, correct.
So you're not always having to pay for this part.
Right. So the older system, you know, if you had the old hollow bit,
That was it.
as soon as that wore out, you're done. This wore out, that wore out, you're
Gotcha.
done. Right?
What Diablo has done is instead of using that hollow style bit like Steven showed you previously, they've taken this bit, it remains solid. So you have all the structural integrity of the bit. You're not losing anything.
Right, there you go. Now you can see
That's
it.
the bit,
So
right?
solid,
So we have
right?
that full cutter head.
Right, getting the dust into the flutes, getting it through the stainless steel tube.
It travels through the stainless steel tube, into the adapter, into the vacuum cleaner. Here's a question.
Okay.
Cost-wise, what are we talking for the innovation here? Because there's got to be R&D, there's got to be study, there's got to be a lot goes into this. So what are we talking cost-wise compared to?
Again, and this is where we're going to make this accessible and affordable to the end user, and that's where we're again we're amped up about this thing is because again, let's call it this is a standard SDS Plus bit full carbide head.
Gotcha.
2 cutter. Again, let's call it $17, $18. The Diablo rebar demon, $23, $24. The hollow bit version, $200. We're looking at $50 to $60.
So this would be 50, 60 bucks.
That's what again, depending on the diameter, but I'm just saying
got
for that
for generally for
size.
this specific
Yep, for that
specific
5/8,
size.
that's what we're looking at.
And here's the thing. I think that Diablo, in coming at a price point like that, you're going to see where maybe previously tradespeople, contractors balked
Right.
at maybe a benefit. There's no good reason not to use this solution at that price point. It's safer. Like, I understand it's safer. Like, there's less particulate in the air.
Right.
But the reality, where the rubber meets the road,
Yep.
this is going to make you more money because it's faster. You don't have to evacuate those holes. You're going to get a better adhesion from your anchoring system.
Productivity,
Yes.
durability, speed, safety.
Yes, it's awesome.
Yeah.
This, in my opinion, will be widely adopted. Mark it down.
Hey,
Steven,
thanks
you
for the time.
never cease to amaze me. Thank you for having us in the booth. I know this is like a huge event, and I appreciate you just taking the time with us to explain this all.
Absolutely.
As a tradesperson and as a small business owner, love that Diablo's focus is in continuing to create value. And one of the key talking points around a lot of the products is more runtime. And I don't know if people really that are watching realize how that translates into dollars and cents, because battery packs and batteries have a finite life cycle, right? They can only be charged and discharged so many times. And that means if you have to replace those battery packs because they're no longer will take a charge, it's going to cost you money. And Diablo continues to just innovate and hone their product to deliver 60 and 65% more runtime from cordless tools. That really impacts us tradespeople. And I know it's got to be a focus. Is it a focus, or is it just a byproduct of what you're already doing? Or?
Great question. Great. The answer is pretty much more of a byproduct. When you design to cut more efficient, good things happen. So if you're cutting more efficient on a corded product, you're drawing, most of our products, even this product we showed you earlier, draws 35% less amp draw on the product. Well, that's easier for the user to push. it's easier for the cutting tool to work. And when all that happens, good thing, noise drops down, so that's a safer environment. The blade's cutting more in line, so it's cutting cleaner. And think of it like a tire. If a tire isn't properly balanced, you're the best tire out there, you have a nice Pirelli. If it's not balanced right, you're gonna get a rough ride and it's gonna wear prematurely. And a lot that's happening similar to a power tool.
We're with an expert in metal cutting for Diablo Tools. Blair, we have a whole bunch of new technology that's actually too much for me to wrap my mind around. That's why we have the expert here, because I would do a terrible job of explaining this. What can you tell us about this Cermec technology, how it's going to make people more effective, keep them safer, not have to get a burn permit, all kind of good stuff?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's talk about cutting heavy gauge steel. I got a big piece of tube steel here. This is a 1/4 inch wall, 2.5 inch square tube, standard construction steel. We're going to show you a more traditional way that people have cut it. In the past, people have used an abrasive cutoff saw, and we're going to show you what you can expect from that. It's going to take a long time to cut. Because it takes so long, you're going to generate a lot of heat in that process. It's going to get super hot. You're going to make a heavy burr. You're going to get discoloration. You're definitely not going to be able to grab it if you don't have gloves on. So we're going to show you the standard method, then we're going to show you a better solution. Here's our 14-inch Cermet metal cutting circular saw blade. We're going to make a faster, more efficient cut. We'll show you all the benefits there with that cutting process.
Before you do that, is it fair for me to say that those Carbide are just so shiny and sparkly? This is almost like jewelry.
That's right.
It's gonna be like, I'm gonna be like the new Flavor Flav. I might wear this around my neck.
Public enemy #1.
You can get a chain for that.
Yo!
All right, we're gonna start with abrasive disc. I'm definitely gonna wanna wear this, and you'll see why in just a second. When it takes you 70 seconds to make a cut like that, you're gonna generate a lot of heat in that process. That heat is gonna leave a heavy burr. It's gonna leave discoloration. If you want or value the finish quality at all, you're definitely gonna have to go back and clean that up. I'm definitely gonna be holding this with a tool, not with gloves. I'll show you why. Wow. This piece right here is about 500 to 700 degrees, so you're not gonna be able to touch that for a while.
Blair, even the plexiglass is warm.
I know, I'm getting a little worried about it.
That's crazy.
So if you don't want burring, you don't want discoloration, you want faster, better cuts, we're gonna show you the solution for that. This is our 14-inch, 72-tooth Cermet metal cutting circular saw blade. When you cut quickly and effectively like that, you don't generate the same temperatures that you would otherwise. I can touch this with my bare hand. It's a few degrees warmer than it was before we started. You're not gonna have the heavy burring and discoloration. You're gonna have a nice clean finish. If you need to weld it up, you're ready to go.
Yeah, whole bunch less to clean up on that. Fabricators probably loving this. But I just picked that up with my bare hand. It's innovation, bro. So this is for heavy metal and steel.
These are great for tube steel, especially you're gonna do fast cuts that don't require hardly any cleanup. In addition, you can do miter cuts. So if someone wanted to do 45s on a tube steel frame, they're excellent for that.
Do you have a solution for maybe thin metal or other solutions in this segment that you could show us?
I'm glad you asked. So as you may have heard, we manufacture our own blends of carbide. We have over 20 varieties of carbide that we tailor to every application. The benefit of that is that we can optimize the properties for every individual application. We're gonna have a totally different composition for a thick metal blade than we would with thin metal. So when we go to a thin metal blade, we're not generating the same heat in that profile. What's actually happening is this material, because it's so thin, is gonna vibrate a lot. that vibration is going to cause a lot of problems with all that movement. You risk fracturing the teeth. So the Diablo solution to that, we're going to have dedicated options for thin metal and thick metal. When we go from thick metal, we're going to have fewer teeth. We're going to have a cermet blend that resists the higher temperatures. When we go to thin metal, we're going to have a higher tip count. It's going to take a smaller chip. It's going to reduce vibration. And we're going to optimize the blend of carbide that we produce to resist the fracturing.
And this is also for working with stainless.
You got it. So that's another key point with the cermet. Because it has the ability to withstand the higher operating temperatures, you can cut stainless steel, which is not something you could generally do with the standard steel cutting blade. You're going to have to go buy a dedicated blade. You're going to spend 3 or 4 times what you would on a typical mild steel cutting blade.
So this is crazy. So not only do you have various blade sizes, depending on exactly what metal, it looks like what I'm seeing here, you have different teeth counts. This is terrific. This is a terrific solution. We have a demo you're doing here?
This is a great solution. We're going to show you that you can actually take metal cutting circular saw and you can cut what has historically been cut with a 9-inch gas saw. Anyone who's used a gas saw before knows what that experience is like. You're going to make a slow cut. You're going to do the same thing over here. You're going to generate sparking. You're going to generate a lot of heat. You're going to make a heavy burr that you're going to have to go back and clean up. We're going to show you what that experience is like and how it's different when you use metal cutting circular saw blade.
I'm going to stand in.
It's a little bit faster than a gas saw.
Faster? Yeah, way faster.
It's going to leave a nice clean finish on there. You're not going to have any burring to worry about. It's going to be a lot easier to make a square cut than if you're doing this with a gas saw and standing over it.
Absolutely. That's terrific. What do you have for thick metal, Chief?
Thick metal.
Or we have real thin metal. Is that what we're looking at here?
Yeah. So one of the biggest issues that we see on a metal framing job site is access to a good workspace, right? Ideally, you'd have a nice workstation. You might have a little chop saw set up, but more often than not, you're not gonna really be able to take your material cart around the job site. So ideally, if you're making your cuts where they're needed, someone's gonna take a nice handheld saw. But again, they're not gonna have a dedicated workstation. So what are they gonna do? They're gonna throw it up on their boot and get it off the ground. They're doing the best they can. This is gonna move around, it's gonna vibrate, and to give especially the guys that haven't had a career's worth of time to develop their skill set, they're gonna need to maximize that blade life the best they can. So we've done the job for them. We've added more teeth. We've designed a more fracture-resistant grade of carbide to give them that long blade life, even if they don't have the skill set or the history to be able to do that themselves. We're gonna show you the most challenging gauge that you'll find on the job site. This is a typical exterior grade 16 gauge stud. This is gonna give them the most headache. It's thin enough to vibrate a lot, but it's thick enough to push back on the teeth and break them off if you don't have the right blade. So quick and easy, we didn't have to go to a cutting stand with a 14-inch saw. We took our handheld saw to where you needed to make the cut. We made a quick, clean cut, and we're gonna get a lot of blade life for a dedicated thin metal blade.
That's terrific. Save my wrist.
That's right. All right, let's talk carbide again. We manufacture our own carbide. We have over 20 dedicated blends that we optimize for the application. These are cermet teeth that are designed especially for thick, heavy steel. They're also going to give you the ability to cut stainless steel because of that high tolerance to temperatures. To demonstrate that, we're going to show you with a standard 7 1/4 handheld circular saw. This is about double the RPM of what you would have for a metal cutting saw. We're going to cut down the flange of this beam. That's a 1/2 inch flange on this beam we're going to cut with a standard circular saw. When you cut fast and effectively, you don't add heat. You get a nice clean finish. You don't have a burr, you don't have discoloration. You take what was generally a wood cutting circular saw, you turn it into a capable metal cutting tool.
So that blade in particular is designed to be used with saws that most guys already have.
Yes, sir, that's right. Everyone's gonna have a 7 1/4 saw for some reason.
That is great.
Battery powered too.
That is terrific. I appreciate your time.
Yes, sir, enjoy it.
Thank you, Blair. Another point to the high efficiency of your product, or how it makes power tools more efficient, and me and a couple of the other people, tool tubers, if you will, it's one brand that we never seem to get like pushback on is Diablo. Like, it seems like universally people like the brand, and maybe it is because you're very humble.
Well, thanks for that. I mean, if you look around here, you know, everybody here uses our products, who knows our products. All of us are super focused on, you know, solving true problems for our end users. And that takes all of us, not just one person, 2 people, whatever. A lot of work to do, we have a lot of progress to make, but, you know, we're much more focused on progress, not perfection.
Sure.
And making sure we're incrementally getting better. I don't think we're ever going to get close to the elusive benchmark that we want to get to, but we're going to work hard every day getting closer.
You know what they say, shoot for the stars, land on the moon.
There you go.
I appreciate you spending some time.
You bet.
Thank you so much, Russell. We're at the World of Concrete for 2024. We're in the DeWalt booth with Chris, and he's setting up for us right now. What do we have?
We have the brand new 42 pound.
This is amazing.
It's a brand new 966 42 pound 1.1/8" hex breaker.
Wow.
Ground up design, something totally new for us. So much technology built, but you know, we wanted to start with something simple, something a pain point that users have had. So let me show you. Right here. When you would change a bit in the past, I'm sure you've done it, you've been in construction for a long time,
Yep.
You have to get that jaw and bend it and get a hammer and bang your fingers, and oh, it's such a pain.
Pretty much.
With our pin and collar system, you pull it out, you drop it in. That's it. No more jaw, no more anything. This is the technology that we built, but we wanted to start at a point that just really drove our users crazy.
Yeah, because nothing slows down the job more than having to change out implements or accessories. It's a pain. That is great.
It's a pain. Now,
Yes.
wireless tool control.
Okay, so we're operating our vac.
We're operating our vac wirelessly. When we push the new push through trigger design, it's gonna activate your vac, dust control, OSHA compliant. It's perfect. Long time before service life on this. We have a decoupled mechanism. Users are going to work hard without being worked hard.
That's good.
Very important. Very important. But I want to show you something that is best in class, new in class, first from DeWalt. A center auxiliary handle. No, I mean, listen, not all of us are from warm, sunny beach places. Some of us,
This is true.
Philadelphia, it's cold,
Yeah.
frozen soil.
It can be.
Yeah, it can be. So what we do is we have a one-handle bolt-through design, and I'm going to remove this handle and have onboard storage here for the hex key that you can see that.
That's good.
If you can see my right hand here, I'm grabbing a top handle. No one else has a top handle as well. You can put this shovel attachment in here.
That's pretty cool, dude.
You get it close to your hip, and now you can turn this into a powered digger.
Yeah.
So that frozen soil, the tough Texas soil, you know, you have a pipe burst, and that excavator can't get so close to that.
Yeah.
So this body is about the average width of an mini X bucket.
Yeah.
So when you can't get that close, take these handles off, and now you can finish that digging project right there.
That's great.
Well, the great thing about this, though,
Yeah.
it's the performance. You want to see it? Let's go.
I want to see it.
Let's go. It's just a workhorse.
Do you know what I find amazing though? Is that it's running on a battery. we're talking about a breaker of this size running on a battery. I wouldn't even consider running a half-inch drill 10 years ago in mission critical applications.
And the great thing about this is with the 615 is a lot of thermal technology built in.
Yeah.
So you're going to avoid the traditional hot pack issues where there might be some charge left in the battery.
Sure.
But it's hot, so it stops. Now, very good for the trades. What we recommend though for our concrete and demo users is the corded version.
I think we've seen this one before.
No.
No.
Same mechanism.
It's new.
Same mechanism. Concrete and demo guys, you need that runtime, you're going all day. We have a corded user, but what's great about this is, you see these T25 screws?
Yes.
We're not in the cord business, neither are you. So if it gets cut, chipped, damaged, to keep you compliant, open this panel,
Replace the cord.
any 12-3 cord,
Are you serious?
replace it. I'm not in the business of selling cords,
Guess
I'm in the
what?
business of keeping you productive.
Just like Ricky said, you're not worried about selling for the power screen, the bars.
We don't care.
I like it. Oh my God.
This is awesome.
It looks awesome.
This is awesome. This is our 27-pound inline SDS Max, which is important. There's a big competitor that sells proprietary chisels.
Okay.
We have the SDS Max tool holder. So whether it's a world's best DeWalt Elite Carbide chisel or another manufacturer, as long as it's SDS Max,
Right.
it works.
It will fit here.
That's right.
Gotcha.
We're all about whatever you have working with our product. We went through about 22 different designs just to get this rear handle comfortable.
Okay.
This hammer is designed to be used in a horizontal or two-handed vertical operation. You're chipping out a wall, you're chipping out a drain, you're chipping out a pipe channel. This has the solution for you. It's optimized with a brand new brushless motor technology, brushless motor in our DC or cordless version, and then brushless motor in our AC version as well.
Okay.
Same 27 joules of impact energy.
So you get the same energy.
It's about as strong as I can make it without shearing chisels off.
Okay, that makes sense.
Absolutely powerful. You have a push-through trigger design here. When you push it in, it's gonna start. When you push it back the other way, it'll stop.
So we're just gonna break off this edge.
Yeah, just push, break it. We're here to work concrete to break stuff and make noise.
This thing's not heavy.
No. One cool thing about this is this is a really aggressive hammer, but sometimes you don't need aggression, right?
Okay.
So we put a power tool reduction slider on here. So when you pull it, you'll hear the motor turn down. Sometimes, instead of the demo hammer, you need a scalpel.
Sure.
That's what that's for. Those edges around your saw point joint, it's perfect for that.
That's pretty awesome. This is pretty, it's balanced. I assume that you've just done a good job of balancing this because, I mean, what's the weight on it? It's got to be heavy, but it don't feel heavy, is my point.
It's about 27 pounds. Feel free to go and chip the wall. You'll feel how simple it is.
It's okay. I trust you.
So for a long time, we've had the 690. We reintroduced it with the bigger cap to accommodate the 15 amp hour battery, right?
Yep.
But everybody was asking me, hey, why in the world do you have wireless tool control on it? You can't use a vacuum.
Yeah.
Well, we don't sleep much, and we had this product in design for a minute. So this is the DCE 6820 water tank. When paired, it will remotely activate it, so the water will start coming on,
Yes.
and it'll turn off when you let the trigger go. So let me show you how this works real fast. It's gonna pump it. As you can see, it's rolling. And then in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, it's off. You're not wasting water, you're not creating more slurry than you really need.
Yeah.
It just keeps you activated. Let me cut real fast and show you how well this uses. you can see, if I'm a plumber and I gotta be inside, but keep my mess down, this is perfect.
Yeah.
Not to mention, water with your diamond blades, you're gonna keep it cool and last longer. It's an awesome solution.
I'm really impressed at how fast it was cutting as well. No stall.
When you do, we have an indicator light here.
Okay.
And it'll let you know when there's a high stress on the motor. Just back off, let the saw do its work.
Sure, yeah, that's
Let the
awesome.
saw do its work. Garden hose connection, if you have a 14-inch cutoff or a different type of saw, may not use the wireless tool control, but you can just turn it on and off there.
Beautiful.
Work perfect. This battery, the 615, it's gonna give you 2 to 3 more time to run time.
Yeah.
So you're cutting the cord now. You don't need a cord with these rotary hammers. As you can see, we redesigned these lines. You have a double rail design. So when we say guaranteed tough at DeWalt, we mean it. Magicians are everywhere in Vegas. Let me show you something. Vince, hold your hands out. Now look at these.
Okay.
I want you to be honest. Tell me what you think. What's the weight difference?
I can't tell.
It's not that much.
I really honestly can't tell.
It's not that much.
Try again.
It's a bigger, different hands.
You can tell it's not much.
It's not much. It is about a pound, but the footprint, as you can see, is much greater. However, a lot of thermal technology built in here to extend your run time, to keep you working.
Can I run it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hey, let's go get lunch.
No, let's go.
Dude, I don't know how to explain it. It's like, it feels like a locomotive.
So
it's just no stall and it just keeps cutting away.
what's really important though is when you use our hollow bit and our vac to keep you OSHA compliant and the DCV 105 behind you, you don't have to clean your holes out anymore. You drill, it'll clean out,
And set.
and you fill it with pure 220 and you walk away.
My friends, my colleagues, we always thought of like DeWalt as they're known for their saws. Like, DeWalt was always our saw company, right? But then when we started using the rotary hammers, it was a shock how well they're made, how quickly they work, and how little vibration and just, I guess it's, once again, like thoughtfulness into the user, the safety, the fatigue element. They're just well-built tools.
It's just like your video you had, what, 2 years ago?
I think it
where
was.
you had a corded hammer, maybe it was a competitive hammer, but you had the bucket of concrete.
Yeah.
And you were using the DeWalt D handle.
Oh, yeah.
And you were drilling through and you're like, wow,
Yeah.
I'm amazed. Well, part of that is performance, but part of that is ergonomics.
Sure.
And you've got to have a good user experience.
That is awesome, brother.
Thank you.
We're in the world of concrete, and we're in the Milwaukee tool booth. We're here with Matt. Matt,
Good to see you.
what is this little contraption here?
Yeah, so this is our new MX Fuel rocket dual power compact tower light.
Wait a minute. You're telling me that this little thing is an MX Fuel tower light?
It is.
Wasn't we needed like a flatbed for the old one, right?
Absolutely. That light is amazing when you want to light the site, but when you need portability on the job site, this is the light. This guy is 75% smaller when it's collapsed than that big MX, and it still throws 15,000 lumens of light.
So this locks in.
It locks in, you can take it, you can wheel it around. When you're ready to set up the light, you can disconnect it. The light is 49.5 pounds, got an oversized carry handle.
That isn't bad.
It's easy to set up. You got one click, clicks up. You got 4 cams here, and you can extend it 7 feet up.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, it's got some outrigger legs here, added stability when you need it. And when you're done, you can move
Matt,
on to the next job site.
That's not 7 feet, man. That's got to be like 10 feet.
I mean, I'm a little bit taller than you.
I'm not that short. I'm Come on, man.
So this guy comes with the XE406 battery, so
Okay.
it'll do 3 hours on high.
3 hours on high.
It's got AC, so when you need all day, you can plug it in.
Okay.
This is IP56 rated product.
Oh, it will pass through.
Yeah, it'll pass through.
I like that.
Yeah, so it's great for indoor, outdoor use. It'll hold up to dust and rain. And then when you step up to our forge packs, you can get to 6 hours on high.
Really?
Really, yep. 20 hours on low. It is a beast of a light.
What are the, how many lumens at low? Is there a medium?
It does have a medium. It has 3 modes. So you got 15,000 on high, you got 8,500 on medium, and you got 5,000 on low.
How's it get kitted?
So it gets kitted with the XE406 battery, comes with a standard charger. The unit comes out this summer, and we're retailing at $19.99.
Okay.
This
Matt.
light is super intuitive, man.
Dude,
There's not a lot more
you're
to
like
it.
super intuitive. I feel like we need more time. I don't even know. He's too good at his job. We have Young, who's going to walk us through. This is your high cycle vibrator?
Exactly.
Concrete vibrator? Is that right?
High cycle concrete vibrator.
Perfect.
So this is our MX Fuel high cycle concrete vibrator that will deliver the most powerful, most consistent consolidation. So even in the stiffest concrete, this concrete vibrator will sustain 11,500 BPMs.
Okay.
So users are hitting tall walls and columns, mass slabs, bridges. They can have confidence that this is going to consolidate properly. Powered by our MX Fuel Red Lithium Forge XC battery packs, there's no need to run dedicated generators or cords throughout the job site. Runtime on the 8.0 battery pack, users are going to get about 90 yards of consolidation on an inch in 3/4 head and a 7-foot whip. With the high cycle vibrator design, with the motor being in the head, whether users are leveraging the 7-foot whip, 16 or 32-foot whip, they're going to get the exact same power, performance, and runtime. This will be kitted with 2 Red Lithium Forge XC 8.0 battery packs, high cycle vibrator, and a supercharger. And we also have our backpack variant right over here to do the flat work, slab on grade, footings, etc.
When MX Fuel was first introduced, it was, I think the target market was more of like for safety, indoor. I feel like there's been a huge shift. It's more about, once again, safety. We don't have to like trip over cords or wires or bring on a generator, but it's also about the convenience of this. I mean, so with that being said, what is the target market for this? Maybe I'm misspeaking. Is it just all out concrete professional, pouring walls, like you said, bridges?
Yeah, so when we think about traditional high cycle vibrators, typically used for taller walls and columns or larger bridge pours or mass slabs where they really need that consistent consolidation, whether they're at 7 feet or 32 feet. And so this really provides that solution.
Yeah.
To your point, fast, easy, convenient, giving them the fastest setup. No need to lug a 3-phase generator, run cords throughout the job site to the scaffold, causing tripping hazards. Way more safer and more productive solution.
I love it. That's awesome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Hopefully I didn't get anything dirty for you.
Nah, I think you might have got yourself, though. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. Part of working with concrete vibrators.
And we have Ryan.
How's it going?
It's going great. This is a brand new 6.5 circular saw, 6.5.
Yep, this is a brand new Gen 2 M18 Fuel 6.5-inch circular saw. This offers class-leading performance with 20% more power and 40% faster application speed than any competitor. Additionally, the lightweight, compact design paired with a robust belt hook makes this the perfect solution for climbing up ladders, moving around the job site, and accessing those more difficult to reach cuts. Additionally, we have positive bevel detents here at 22.5 and 45 degrees. One of my favorite features is our brand new to Circ Saw World depth detents. So we have a positive detent here at a 1/2 inch, 3/4 inch, and 1.5 inches.
So there's detents there.
There's detents in the depth. So it saves you from doing this thing when you're looking at the side of the material.
I like
now
that.
you can just wait and listen for the click. So we got 3 stacked 1/2 inch OSB here. Should we give her a go?
Yeah,
Let's give her a go.
Nice.
How'd that feel?
Felt really nice, right?
Guys, we let this OSB sit out in the rain all night last night. This stuff's nice and dense. Got all that Vegas rain. 3 sheets of 1/2-inch OSB, as you can see, cuts through it like butter.
I gotta tell you, I love the 6.5. It's compact, it's portable, and listen, I love 7 1/4 as well.
Yep.
For capacity, but it just feels great. It just is a great all-around saw.
Awesome. Well, this will be launching in Q2 of this year at a bare tool price of $229.
No, Ryan's giving us all the specifics. I don't even have to ask him the price. So, are you going to have, which would be awesome, will there be kits rolling out with the Forge?
This will be sold as a bare tool only, so there will be no kit option, but we're always exploring future promotions,
That's
and
cool.
I think this would be a great fit for promotion with the Forge.
I do have a question.
Yes, sir.
Since we're talking about
Yep.
it. Is there any benefit with this saw? Does it take advantage, the fuel technology of the Forge?
100%.
So it does?
Yes,
Okay.
100%. And like I said, it's a great tool to use with the Forge battery because you're going to get that peak power. When I said before that this has 20% more power and 40% faster application speeds, that's actually with this battery here. So all of our specs are built off of this HO60, so you're getting even more performance with that
pretty
Forge
awesome.
battery. Yep.
Is there any plans, and I know what you might say, this isn't my area, but any plans to make a smaller battery pack?
We're always exploring new options. I know it's Forge is a great technology for us. We're stepping up the entire industry here,
Yeah.
and I think that we're always looking for new options. And I just say, be excited to see what's coming.
I'm gonna take that as a yes. Brian, thank you very
Vince.
much. We appreciate it. Brian here has a new nailer. You are literally the head of all nailers at Milwaukee Tool. Is that correct?
Yeah, I work on the nailer team at Milwaukee Tool.
So you're part of it. You
part of
oversee
the team.
You oversee the team.
I am a part of the
You're
team,
a
the
part-
project team.
So Brian here will not let me put any words in his mouth. He's very good at his job. We appreciate you
Thanks for
spending
having
some
me.
time and having us in the booth
Yeah.
with you. So you have a new duplex nailer.
Yes.
I am very excited about this.
Yes.
I want to hear everything you could tell us about it.
Yeah, duplex nailing traditionally is done by hand. It's a very manual, labor-intensive process.
Yes.
And we're really revolutionizing it with the introduction of the M18 Fuel duplex nailer. So by using the M18 Fuel duplex nailer, you're able to assemble concrete formwork up to 7 times faster than traditional methods. But the productivity is only half the story. The other half is the safety aspect of it.
Okay.
We did an ergonomic study gauging the amount of muscle effort required using our nailer compared to swinging a hammer, and we saw a sizable reduction in peak muscle effort. And what that equates to is a lower occurrence of repetitive motion injuries and muscle strain injuries, less wear and tear on the body, especially when you're putting hundreds of these nails in day after day, week after week, year after year.
Preach this constantly. These repetitive motions for decades. You know, listen, my tile setter is walks around, crouched over, okay, and this pinky finger is crooked out to the side because that's how he sets a tile.
Yeah.
These are the things that happen to the human body when you do them every day, day in and day out. I can't
Exactly.
say it enough, and I can appreciate you saying that. I just don't think we put enough emphasis.
No,
I
it's a huge
appreciate it.
thing. How do we make people more productive and safer? That's our end goal. So with this tool, you're also able to get 800 nails on a single 5 amp hour battery charge.
That's cool.
Which is more than enough to get you through your most demanding day of concrete formwork assembly. On the tool itself, we have a lot of very unique features that were developed directly based on feedback from users. So we have a tool-free latch on the front of the tool, so you can get quick access, clear any jam fastener, clear any dirt and debris. You know, oftentimes you're going to be assembling formwork in very dirty areas.
Yeah.
So having that quick access without having to take out a hex key to remove the front of the tool is very important. Also, all the touch points on the tool, from the depth of drive adjustment to the power button, were specifically designed for use with thicker leather work gloves on, knowing that the concrete form carpenter is typically going to be wearing those thicker gloves. Oftentimes when assembling
cool.
formwork, you're going to be working below the waist. We have a way where you can store the tool easily in that inverted orientation, so you can pick it up and get back to work very efficiently.
As far as maintenance, you know, being on a concrete site, like what do we need to pay attention to as far as like particulate or anything getting into the tool? Is there anything that they need to be mindful of?
Nope, so there are no maintenance required. You won't have to spray it, you won't have to lubricate the tool.
Fair enough.
And again, that's why we have the tool-free jam clearing latch in case you need to clear dirt and debris. It's really easy, really accessible.
As far as the Duplex nails that we're using,
yes,
they are specific Milwaukee tool nails?
Yes, yes. So we are launching 2 sizes of collated Duplex nails. We have a 16 penny and an 8 penny nail. So we are launching this fastener because there's not a big market for collated Duplex nails, but in addition to that, we're driving innovation with the fastener itself. So we have created a larger spacing between the nail heads. And what this means is when you have a nail that's overdriven, if you don't have the depth of drive set properly, you're still gonna have access to get underneath that nail head and pry it out.
It has multiple modes for firing, single
Yes.
mode. Did you say that already?
No, I did not.
Okay.
That's a good point. So it does have 2 different firing modes. You're gonna have your single fire sequential mode, where you would need to depress the trigger every time, and then you can also switch it into bump fire mode, where you can hold the trigger down and just tap it and go.
And then if you were getting some overdriving, it's easy like depth adjustments here?
Yep, yeah, so you have your depth of drive adjustment right up here at the front of the tool. Really easy to set that depth depending on the material and the nail size you're using.
Cool. Awesome. Brian?
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate your time.
Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Wes, what can you tell us about
Thank
this
you, Vince.
merch from Milwaukee Tool?
All of our workwear designed and developed in Milwaukee. This past August, we just launched all of our new collections. So these 3 collections, we have WorkSkin, FreeFlex, and Gridiron. So WorkSkin is built to fight sweat. It's all gonna be lighter weight, focused on moisture management, wicking, and drying. FreeFlex products are all gonna be built for movement. So whether that's from stretch fabrics or construction, it's gonna be minimizing restriction and maximizing range of motion. And then Gridiron products are built to survive. So they're focused on more durability, being able to last long, and being able to survive everything that you see on the site. Brand new, super exciting over here. If you wanna walk over and see the hooded sun shirts.
Before we go on to that though, I would love to talk about the WorkSkin. To your point, though, I want you to know that the VCG construction merch is actually all designed in Camden, New Jersey. But people don't realize the importance of a base layer.
Yeah.
And when Wes talks about that sweat management, you can get all bundled up, you'll be nice and warm, but what happens is when you sweat underneath your clothing, it causes a cooling, like a chilling effect.
Yeah.
You become clammy. It's not good. So this workwear takes that sweat away from your skin layer and helps you stay warmer,
Helps it dry faster. So if you're in warm weather, it's gonna pull it out, it's gonna evaporate, you don't get bogged down. If you're in colder weather, same thing. You're gonna pull it away so you don't get clammy, you don't get cold and damp and heavy.
Let's talk about your new stuff.
There you go.
Come on, Wes.
So here's the hooded sun shirts. Comes in 2 colors, gray and a brown, more of a sandstone color. So extremely stretchy, super lightweight, heavy breathable.
Let me feel that.
Got the hood right here.
That is a nice color.
So these just started shipping, just launched.
So I got to tell you, we were just designing some new hoodies of our own.
Yeah.
And Milwaukee Tool beat me to it. I like this crisscross. Is this all you?
Oh yeah, it's all us. Designed and developed in Milwaukee.
Did you come up with the crisscross? Did you like this?
That's straight from feedback from users. Yep.
I like the crisscross.
Yep. You got the coverage on the neck.
What is the? Do you have a price point on these?
Yeah, so these retail for $44.97.
And the thing is that it's just not a hoodie.
Right.
It's that WorkSkin. It's that sweat management. It's going to keep you warmer, more comfortable on the job, to allow you to be more efficient.
Yeah, that's right.
In my opinion. Wes, I appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Vince.
And listen, if you feel compelled to not buy our merch and buy theirs, it seems like the kid put a lot of thought into it. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it.
So we're going to be kind of laid back and talk and have some fun, and we're going to start here, and then we're going to move around, and then if you have a couple questions, we can take one or two, and then at the end we'll stop. You can go back to the actual booth, and you can spend the necessary time that you want, okay? If you add up all of our competitors and double it, they still don't equal what our market share is, which is a complete domination. And how we did that is we recognized what the users are looking for. We think better than anybody else. And we took $200 and $300 blade technology, and we put on a blade that's $10 and $15. But just in the last couple of years, you look at how tools have changed. You know, on the West Coast, you had the Skill 77. On the East Coast, you had the Mac, was the Makita 5007MB handheld. So now it's cordless. Materials getting harder. More and more LVLs. Steels and fasteners are getting harder, putting more and more pressure on a surface saw than before. So we are super focused, and this is all we do to make sure we realize the full potential of our tools. So with this, we launched a brand new blade last summer, next generation Demo Demon, that will really maximize and extend the battery life by having carbide that is hard enough to withstand this type of nails, but impact resistant so it doesn't break or shatter. And so it's finding that compromise in between it. We have this lock tube design that holds the carbide in. And then also we have this complex geometries that allow it more of a shearing type of cut that extend the life of the battery itself. So, Steve, William, how do we show this?
So what I've got here, Russell, I got a piece of LVL loaded up with some flat lock screws. Those are specifically designed structural lumber, extremely hard, and then loaded up with some shingles, some flashing, and then topped off with a piece of plywood. Woo! So, with that.
So that you can see that blade was sparking, it was drawing, it's starting to climb cut, which is going over the fastener. So there's a lot of things that blade is to failure now, and you're in an unsafe cutting environment. So Steve, let's try the Diablo Demo Demon, see if we get different results. See if we get a little bit more gas here. Boom, there you go. And this will keep going. So just think about it, you know, the more in line that you can perform, and William, if you can help grab two blades to show the difference. You know, the other thing is we have 1.5 millimeter design, so it's super thin, but we keep our integrity in terms of the strength. We also put this stabilizer vents in here that, you know, vibration is created at the cutting angle and also at the arbor. And so what this design does, it actually prevents, it accepts vibration and dampens it. So a simple way to illustrate it is...
All right, Cole, come in here. Give me a finger. There we go. There we go. All right.
Go ahead. And so we'll hit it.
Tell me what you're feeling there.
Yeah. And Cole, if you hold it to your ear, you'll still hear vibration on it. So the other one. And then you pull that to your ear, the vibration's down. Yeah. So when vibration is created, it accepts it and dampens it, keeping the blade cutting in line. Very, very similar to a tire, right? If a tire is properly balanced, it'll cut in line. It doesn't matter how good the tire is. If it's not, it's going to wear prematurely, give you a rough ride. No difference in here. And everything we do, we're trying to maximize the tool and allow for longer battery life, right? And so as everybody's going 4 amp, 6 amp, 8 amp, lithium, investing heavily into it, which is powerful and it's good, What we're able to do is we can increase battery life up to 65%, just with this blade right here, 65%. And so it retails for $15. So that's impact. Boom, good. All right, thanks guys, outstanding, William. My next topic is metal cutting. Metal cutting is interesting. You know, the popularity of metal. It's concrete metal. Concrete metal continues to grow. Every commercial site has concrete metal. And you have insurance codes that are driving more concrete metal. Coastal areas, natural disaster. So, you know, this trend continues. And the way to cut it today is either you're welding it or you're melting it, right? And so it's not the most safe environment. And so the number one way to cut metal still on the job site is through bonded. We self-bonded. It's hard to believe that it's not in the 1800s. I mean, because this is it was great in the 1800s. And what you're doing is you're grinding. By definition, there's no cutting involved, right? You don't even have any kind of positive hooking. It is grinding. So therefore, you're burning and you're melting. And so your sparks and you create a lot of heat. So Blair, let's do a quick illustration. It's hard to believe what's the most common way to cut metal today.
Hey, good morning, everyone. I'm going to be cutting 1/4-inch wall square tubing. We're going to do it with our traditional bonded abrasive cutoff method. Then we're going to show you the newer, better solution with 14-inch service.
Now look at the side of it. You can see burning, discoloration, getting past the melt, right? You're melting it itself. So a little dangerous. You got sparks. If you're on a job site, you know you have to have an OSHA burn permit, have a second person watching you. So we look at that. We go, we created a circular saw blade designed to cut a room temperature environment. It's super fast. You don't lose the dimension. What Blair was also talking about is when you cut with bonded, you'll lose that dimension. You start losing your depth, and then all of a sudden you can't cut the same depth. So you probably got one more cut, and then that thing is done, right? So there you go. So now after he makes that cut, now he's going to go back and clean it up. And that cut is not properly done good. So now we take a Cermet. Cermet is a ceramic metallic material. It's not carbide. It's much harder than carbide itself, and it's designed to take the heat. So you got to, you know, when we grind it and make it, we got to grind much slower, and it's much more heat resistant. I think we'll show you why. Now, barely heat the piece up, right? So we're cutting essentially in a room temperature environment where you got to be careful. If you ever want to do this, make sure you're not standing out in the sun. The metal gets really, really hot. Right? So if you're in room temperature, it's going to maintain essentially room temperature. And look at this, the quality is cut. So there's not burring, it's shiny, it's glassy, there's not color disfiguration on it, so there's a lot of positives going on. So changing the game and cutting metal. Super, super excited. So we took that technology and we said, hey, let's step it up a little bit. And we put it on a 7/4 blade, a 7/4 48 tube. And on top of that, this is a dedicated metal cutting saw, but we put this 7/4 technology on a standard circular saw. So the ideal way to do it is to use a low RPM dedicated metal saw. Why? Is because the whole housing is built to handle metal shape, but you can't put in a rubber saw and go through it every single day. So to illustrate this, Blair, you make a cut through here. You don't need anybody to put it. Like butter. Isn't that amazing?
So cool to the touch, it's basically still room temperature. The finished quality is going to be a lot better than your factory edge. It's good to go. You don't have any cleanup.
So very exciting. So this is a 48 tube. We also have the 6.5 inch as well. So designed to cut thick metal. Now, huge application for metal studs, right? Everything's metal studs, and it's hard to believe that people are still using bonded wheels. I mean, you go to any job site, they're still using bonded wheels inside. You know, not when you're out there. And all the smoke that's created, it's enclosed when you're building it, right? So we want to take that technology. The problem is with the 48 tubes and a low tube count, it's going to create too much vibration, and the finish is going to not be acceptable. So what we've done is we're introducing 3, call it thin gauge metal blades that are finishing for thinner gauge steel. That's going to cut cool, cut long, but it's also going to cut clean. So you can go back and do rework. And we're all about efficiency and productivity. So Blair, why don't you show us what kind of tool you have here?
Yes, sir. We're using the 6.5-inch Hilti. You'll find this all across the nation on any framing site. We're cutting one of the more challenging applications here. These are 16 gauge studs, so they're heavy enough to break teeth, but they're not so light that vibration is not a problem. So you have the worst of both worlds. You have vibration, but you have a heavy enough gauge to where it's really going to impact the teeth.
Look how smooth that is. Look at the sides. And for anybody that's ever used bonded right now, you'll see it leaves a mess and discolors it. So we have this 6.5-inch 6-inch. We've also created a 7.25 70 tooth. And then now we have an 8-inch 54 tooth. And this 8-inch is a beast to go through. Any kind of corrugated steel for people in the Midwest and West Coast. And even the Southwest, you know, corrugated steel is popular with housing, and then of course this is popular for anything commercial, across the country.
Okay, so we're cutting steel deck here. Today, the typical solution that you would see is with the bonded abrasive saw. Someone's going to have their 9-inch or 14-inch gas saw. It's going to make a lot of sparking, make a lot of noise, generate a lot of heat and burring on there. In addition to that, especially when you're cutting with the saw like this, you're going to have a really hard time with abrasive tool making a nice square cut. We're going to show you how fast you can cut when you're cutting versus grinding. So we'll show you our 854. So again, this is 16 gauge. It's one of the hardest to cut. It's going to leave a nice clean finish, but this blade's going to cut all day. It's not going to fracture teeth. We manufacture our own carbide so we can optimize those properties. We're going to maximize and optimize that fracture toughness.
So when we looked at hole saws across the board, you know, the category, we're like, we feel like you could design a worse system on the marketplace. If you challenged us to come up with a terrible, terrible system, we couldn't have done it. So what I mean by that, Logan, let's start with the mandrel itself. What are the systems with the mandrel that are currently on the market today?
So I have a traditional mandrel system right here.
Speak up loud.
Can you hear me in the back?
No.
Awesome, awesome. All right, good deal. So you have a traditional mandrel system right here. You have your pilot bit, you have your arbor. Slide it in. Make sure you don't lose this little piece. Can you see that? Can you see that back there? You got to lock it in, right? So let's get that done. Locked in. 2-inch cup. Come back here. Thread it on. Oh, got to pull that back. Thread that on. There you go. And then lock in your dog ears. Now you're ready to drill a hole. But what if you have to go to a 7/8 hole saw? You're good with your 2-inch, but you need to drill with the 7/8. What do you have to do? You need a different arbor. So I'm coming over here, undo what I did. Maybe somebody on the job site doesn't know. Try to put this on. Frustration, right? Going back again. All right, let me get my smaller one. Same system here. Got to lock it in. All right. See if we can get it seated. There you go. Lock that in. And then the whole thing over again, right? You're threading it back on, ready to drill your hole. With the Diablo Snap-Lock Plus system, we have a one-size-fits-all approach, right? You take your pilot bit, you snap it in, which is held with the ball bearing system. You're ready to go. Now anything from your smallest size hole saw to your largest hole saw fits on this one mandrel. So if I take a 7/8, slide that in, clicks right in, I'm good to go and drill my hole. If I want to move to a 2-inch like the Lennox we just did, click that right in, ready to go. What if I want to go to a 6-inch? Clicks right in, ready to go. What if I want to switch to a different application? Talk about rough-in hole saws. Slide that on and we're good to go. So across every system here, one mandrel fits all of our cup types.
Huge breakthrough. So that we changed everything in terms of the mandrel, and these mandrels cost $22 to $25. So not only are we talking about what's on the marketplace today that you have to buy 2 mandrels per series of hole saws, you also have different mandrels as you move on, if that makes sense. So you can buy 4, 5, 6, $23, $24 mandrel and not have them on the not ready to go. So we have an ecosystem designed around one mandrel every one of our hole saws. The other thing we do too, from here over, is we go to 60 millimeters depth versus the market it's at 42 millimeters. And what that gives you is you go through 2x material and also half-inch kind of sheathing, one pass. So this is tremendous feedback that we get from the market. If you don't need to do that, great. If you need it, you're able to do one pass, especially if you're approaching a wall and you're going through it, you can't go to the other side. Huge advantage. So this is our ecosystem. We've introduced our Steel Demon for a conduit, metal cutting, for granite material, our typical bimetal with our Carbide, first in the world, introducing Carbide tip that you can actually drill a cast iron stainless steel with a hole saw, which is changing plumbers, especially in a commercial job site. And today we're introducing our rough-in Carbide tip hole saws. So you guys know that either self-feed or rough-in hole saws, you can stay in the market. There's some good quality ones out there, but they're slow and they're not as durable. And so what we've done essentially is redesign that, making it much more cost efficient and productive for the users, and making it extend the battery life of the existing designs on the marketplace. So Steve Logan, how do we show this?
Yeah, so we have a piece of stud material here, 2x. We would put that up. You might be drilling horizontally, you might be drilling vertically. What we're going to do is we're going to drill down with 10 pounds of weight, show the difference in the wear and tear on the tool, the wear and tear on the user. You can't always, in those applications, get behind the tool with your body, so you're in between studs. So we're going to show you the difference there. I'm running with the Diablo, the new innovation that we've launched, and Steve has a competitive product on my right. So again, 10 pounds of weight, and we're just going to let it go. We'll see our hands on top just to set it, and then we're going to release it and let it cut. 3, 2, 1, go. Productivity there, the wear and tear on the tool, the drain on the battery, you're able to get with your hand behind the stud and go through easily with less resistance.
Has anybody heard of like Forrest saw blade? Forrest? Yeah. So how did Forrest get their start? Were they really the first saw blade company to kind of break through where we were actually one of the last? One saw blade does it all, right? And so they created a general purpose blade, and for us, as you know, saw blade guys were like, well, you know, everybody goes, what's the best blade I should use? We're like, well, what's your application? You know, are you ripping, are you cross cutting, you cutting melamine, you cutting laminate, whatever you're cutting, there's a dedicated blade for it. But what Forrest did a great job is they understood, hey, there's a lot of users that are like, put one blade on there and do everything. Forrest did a very good job of that. They came out with the Woodworker 2, and it's phenomenal. Well, what we're launching here today is a Diablo blade, what we're calling Wood Demon, and it's a 40-tooth blade design, and the technology on here is absolutely insane. So for $50, it will rip and cross-cut better than any other blade in the market. Will stand behind that. And so a Forrest blade that will cost $200 is cost $50. So what's different about it is with the teeth itself, instead of cutting straight on like here, we're putting a shear on it, right? So intuitively, you know when you're, say, skinning a potato, and you got a blade on itself, you know you're not going to go straight up and down. You're going to turn it, right? A peeler, you got to turn it, otherwise it's not going to work. Same thing for a saw blade. So we put a 4-degree shear every side. So instead of cutting, it slices. That reduces draw by 35% in terms of the ported unit, and extends the battery life up to 60% because it's cutting easier. The second thing we did is, if you guys are familiar, when you're cutting laminate veneers, you need a high ATV, such as 38 degrees. It gives a beautiful top and bottom finish, right? But it's rough on the side. A 15 degree is good in terms of long life, but it's rough on the top and the bottom. So we put a nice compromise with a 30 degree angle, which gives a flawless, ultimate top, side, and bottom. And then the third thing we did that's radical is we put this double grind. So right now, if I don't put a grind on a blade and I cut, it's going to bounce back, right? You got to have clearance. So either you create set or you grind on the side. So after we make the first grind, we come back and make a small secondary grind that's almost straight up and down. And what we're doing is we're creating a controlled burn, a polishing to it. And when you cut with this, you'll see the side it's unbelievable. And so now you got to keep moving it. You can't stop because you can create some burning on it, but the results are phenomenal. So we're going to show, or attempt to show you today, is that with a $50 blade, it's going to blow away any kind of blade on the market, including a Forest $200 woodworking blade. Let's see if we can do that.
This is a piece of shelving. It's melamine shelving. I'm using a Bosch table saw with just a standard insert plate. It's not a zero clearance plate. So there's really no support to the wood fibers inherent in the tool. It's relying entirely on the quality of the blade for the exit cut. On the top surface, decent. On the back side, you get chip out, you get blowout, no glitter, right? So if we compare this to the Diablo, 30 degree, high ATV, it's a double grind. Compare, contrast. This is red oak veneer plywood. What's particularly tricky about cutting this stuff is when you're going across the grain of the veneer. So we're going to do second verse, same as the first.
I think it's pretty obvious. I'll be looking at the market. So let's hope. So I mean, think about how exciting that is. You can take just a benchtop table saw on the job site, and you're getting just high performance like you do in your shop with 3 horsepower stationary saw. So now the basic contractor to the high skilled trim carpenter can really make it's a woodworker on wheels. You can go to a job site and have that level of flawless performance. And you know, your cost of materials in some of this is $80 a square foot in some of the high-end woods. So once you tear and rip out as we're passing around, you can't go back and sand it. I mean, there's no re-sanding type of material. So, so what's exciting is if you look at the reciprocating blade market, everybody was saying, hey, the whole category, when bimetal was introduced, it kind of reinvented the category itself and became the go-to in terms of technology to go after it. So why? Because you took a high carbon steel, you welded it to a high-speed steel, and you maintain the edge, keep it much sharper, but you still had flexibility, right? Change the game. But we went into it, and you spent 5 minutes on a job site, and you're going to hear there's a lot of problems with the users out there, and they want longer life, longer longevity, and they have applications they can't do. I mean, what's a very common material for a plumber to cut? Cast iron. Thank you, Vince.
And then what are they using today? Or before, what were they using? Chain lock. You know, you snap lock. You get it on there, it costs $800, you wrap it and you break it, right? And more materials are getting lighter weight, more advanced, lower cost steels that are making it more difficult for the plumber, for any contractor using the recip blade. So we wanted to change the game by being the first in the world to bring Carbide into the reciprocating blade territory, expanding applications you can do with your existing saw, right? So now the preferred, by the way, Charlotte cast iron has like 80% of the market. Charlotte Pipe, thank you. They make cast iron. Charlotte Pipe have 80% now. They recommend Diablo recip blade as the preferred way to cut cast iron, right? Stainless steels, now you can do that. So it's incredible. So for people that don't realize it, Logan, maybe we kind of go back quickly and show bimetal attempting to cut stainless steel, and then what's the power of Carbide and what it brings to this application.
Sure. So I have some 2-inch Schedule 40 stainless steel pipe. I'll use the Lennox competitor, and we'll start with that. See how it does. Okay, so now the teeth are stripped, it's smoking, and it almost looks like the blade is, you're cutting it backwards on it right now, because the teeth are all stripped. But this is where the world was just a couple years ago. Now, try a piece of rebar. Right. Done. So it starts a little bit, the teeth strip off. So that's what your limitation was. So when we introduced Carbide, and we took the same cutting technology a lot, the same durability, and applied it on reciprocating blades, we saw a big difference. So I'm using the Carbide tip and Diablo for thick metal.
Boom. Just like that. Woo! Yeah.
Same blade.
Boom, just like that. And when you're at, yeah, that's strong. That's strong, that's strong. You know, and so how are people cutting rebar today on the job site? How do they cut rebar? Huh? Yeah, that's probably the best way to do it. Grinder, a lot of grinders. Portaband. A lot of people are using Portaband on the job site. And you think the versatility of what a cordless recip saw will do, you can get it in hard items, you can be buried in dirt, and there's not going to be any kind of problem. When you can't wrap something around it, get something pinched around itself, or take a bandsaw with your hands underneath it, you want it flush. So a lot of positive. So we were first in the world, and we came up with 9 categories of Carbide. 9 categories, starting from pruning. So now, and you're seeing landscapers is the preferred way to trim and to prune. Not cut trees down, but to prune. I mean, you put the saw on, and it just eats, it flies through it. To nail embedded wood, to thick metal, medium metal, thin metal, and sheet metal. Now Carbide is the preferred solution. And by the way, Carbide is bigger than bimetal. I don't know if everybody realizes that. So that's unbelievable, right? And Carbide delivers 50 times longer life than what bimetal will do. So a typical bimetal blade is $3 to $4. You're talking about 9-inch blade. Carbide is between $10 to $12. So for 50 times longer, you have $6 more, $7 more, but you allow the tool to do applications you couldn't even do before. But the thirst, we keep getting challenged that we want longer life. We're like, we don't care what it costs. So that's where we introduced the amp range, the amp family. So amp delivers 100 times longer for 33% higher in retail. So if a blade is $12 for Carbide, amp is $15, but it doubles the performance. And when you're on the job site, still, what's the most expensive cost at a job site? Time. Steaks. Manpower. It's labor. Labor's still the most expensive. So if we can significantly reduce labor, everything we're talking about is pennies, and expand and do new applications that you couldn't do before. It's unbelievable. So today we're introducing, here we go. So right here, here's our new series of amp. So again, bimetal, then we have what we call Demon, which is our Carbide, and then this is amp, which is the HPP++, best of the best. And we now have pruning, nail-bedded wood, and we introduced thin metal, which is a 12 TPI. Look at it. When you see this blade, you got to cut with it too. See the size of the Carbide. There's small little specks on it, and it's unbelievable. So you can do thin gauge. No, let's show this. Let's do it. So that's what we're introducing. Okay, so we'll show you a couple amp products quickly. Have a little fun with this. How are we going to do this, guys?
All right, we got the same 2-inch piece of schedule 40 stainless steel. We got the thick metal amp blade that you just saw cut stainless steel and rebar. But like Russell said, over the last couple of years, our competitors have come out with Carbide, right? So we're going to try a Carbide solution versus the superior Diablo amp solution.
Yeah, before you do that too, we have 9 categories in Carbide, and our colleagues are coming out with 3 and 4. So now we've already left that, and now we're going to amp. So let's show the difference, all right? Hey, there we go. Oh, listen, we got a little, yay, all right. Boom, huh? Is that your pack? Think about that. You're looking at $15. You're not looking at $100 for sure. So really changed the game. And then we're going to show nail-bedded wood too. So again, you think about in just a couple quick years, bimetal should almost disappear because it's not going to make sense anymore with Carbide. Circular saw blades, Carbide now is 98%. Once in a while you'll see a steel cutting plywood blade, but Carbide is completely taken over and dominated. So with this, what we're going to show.
So we're showing the new expanded range of amp Carbide tip reset blade, starting with nail-bedded wood. Woo! We saw it earlier, the materials are getting harder, so we got 2 pieces, 2x6, 3/4 inch subflooring, 4 construction screws, 4 fluted masonry nails. And we're going to hang the 5-pound weight on here again versus the competitive Carbide blade. All right, we're amping it up to 10 pounds. Here we go. going to still continue to cutting in this competitive blade. It's already struggling. It's been taking a long time. So more blade faces, more lost time on the job site.
Can you show us what was in that wood?
Yeah, please.
Hey, we'll let you come back and just pass it up. And you guys, we'll do some cuts with it.
That's awesome. Thank you.
You want me to take it? Or? Yeah, no, that's, you know, and you think about it, that's the most common application, you know, when you're framing, and then you're ripping down framing after you have to move a wall, remodeling, the element of wood. Thank you. Cool. Strong? Strong. Changing the game. All right, let's just go to 12 TPI. Yep. And so, you know, now we're going to do a thin gauge metal example. And so, you know, the critical thing here is when you're cutting, again, you don't want to make sure you're too aggressive, the finish gets poor, and you're discoloring the material, which means you're cutting too high heats. And here we have no choice but to compare versus bimetal. Why? Because nothing exists in the market in carbide. So again, you know, because we're super focused and all we are is a power tool accessory range, we don't do anything else. This is we're way ahead of the market in terms of technology. I think you're going to find everybody else is late, overpriced, underperformance, which is the motto there. All right, guys, before we do it, what are we showing? Oh.
No, so you went. Hey, we wanted to go big. So this is 1.5 inch thin wall stainless steel pipe, right? 2 pieces. Again, 12 TPI. It's specifically designed to give that high productivity, long life, and thin and extremely thin metals with no vibration, longer productivity. And right now the competition doesn't have a carbide solution for that. So we had to go to bimetal. Let's see what the bimetal tooth count for this application looks like. All right, 3, 2, 1.
Good stuff, you guys? Good stuff. So hopefully we can tell everybody, get everybody super amped, fired up about these new products, because it really will change. It'll make their day-to-day much more productive. And even when you're cutting copper, copper is very, very easy to do. And it's flawless, and it won't reshape, even though it's a non-ferrous material. It won't reshape, right? And so that's what you got to be careful of. If you have too big a teeth, it can change the funding pipes don't fit together. So people absolutely love it. All right, so let's transition to OMT. OMT is one of the most exciting categories out there. Do you know OMT tool is the highest penetrated pro tool out there right now? It's higher than a recip saw or circular saw. It has over 72%, so everybody has it. We're going to absolutely lead and dominate this category. And we're doing it for several reasons. We're designing applications and solutions for real problems that are out there. And so right now, the market has one carbide for everything. You cut everything. And so now we've introduced 3 different carbide blends. We're at day 1. But we have a dedicated metal, dedicated general purpose, and a dedicated nail embedded wood. And if you look, the reason why all you guys have an OMT tool, everybody use it? It grinds, it screams, it smokes. When I'm driving down a neighborhood, I can hear it when somebody's going, it's horrible. And so we're going to fix all that. So we're doing it with solutions, and we're creating better set and clearance so the tool can actually cut versus grind and file right now. So to show this today, we have our first in the world. We're breaking through this nail embedded wood. And so we do a lot of little things that are kind of cool. The first thing is our system here. This will fit both a DeWalt, a Milwaukee, and a Dremel. So it's a patented system that slides out. It's no mystery. Some of the colleagues out there will say general purpose, but you got to use a secondary fastener to do it. If you ever use like a washer that was cut in half and you got to slide it on, it's not a world-class experience, and the thing will move. This slides on to whatever mechanism that you're using. The other little things that we have is we have this plunge area here. It's a radius tip, and it creates like a little pilot point when you're starting. So you think of it the difference of having a spatula and trying to start versus a rounded nose of it where it starts on that, and it's actually easier to plunge, but it's also easier to start and get a pilot. So these are little nuances that we do to make it easier for our users on their job site. Look at how we're going to show this.
All right, so I have the DeWalt competitor Carbide blade here. I'm going to be cutting through 1x6 material with 3 construction screws. We're going to see how it does. Pay attention to the sound of the tool and also what you see.
Here, need a burn permit. So you can see that it's filing versus cutting. And this is, I think everyone that uses this tool, this is your experience with it. It's a fantastic tool. The applications are absolutely incredible. But right now, the performance, we're not realizing the full potential of this tool. So here, what we've created is a nail-embedded wood carbide, but it has a set clearance on it right now. So it'll move much faster. Hopefully it's not going to smoke and burn like this. But let's see, right? Anything can happen.
Let's see how it goes. See how it goes.
And absolutely, I mean, you'll feel it. We encourage you guys to come back and use them. You'll feel it in your wrist, you'll smell it, you'll see it, the vibration, absolutely unbelievable. And so when we look at the hammer drill bit market, once upon a time, what we recognized is that there was a thirst for better solutions than what was being offered, right? And there's 2 types of users when you're hammer drilling, right? One is, I have to go through rebar, and I don't want to. The second is, I don't want to hit any kind of rebar, but I do. And then it falls apart, right? And so when we looked at that market, we thought we could bring new technology to it. So if we look at a 5/8 inch standard bit, in terms of what's out tube cutter, this is standard tube cutter in the market as a DeWalt. Believe it or not, it's the overwhelming dominant way people are using today. Right here, tube cutters. This costs around $15, $17, and you hit rebar. What do? You got to stop, and maybe you're lucky enough to have a rebar cutter, which, by the way, you can't be in a hammer boat for this is Rotary. This costs around $40, and then pick a number of times. It could be 5 minutes, it could be 50 minutes. Then you have to go through that, and then you got to switch it out and go back to your tube cutter. That's what exists today. So we said, hey, wow, there's a great opportunity to reinvent these things, have game-changer technology. So if you hit it, you can continue to get the job done. So what we did is we created a full carbide head 4-cutter system that takes small bites of the rebar. It's very low vibration. It's very cost effective. If the tube cutter is $17, this is $23 to $25, so not a lot of money. And if you have to hit rebar, you can get through it better than any kind of rebar cutter. So game changer. Game changer. And this right now is reinventing the industry. And it's leading, we're growing so and overwhelming, dominating. Because once your user, once your customer tries this, they'll never go back. They'll never go back. So that is super exciting right now. Now we're seeing the market start to come in with full carbide head, which is a great compliment, right? You know, adjacent copy. But we're also going to show you that all carbide isn't created equal. So first, let's do this. Let's show the difference of a two-cutter versus a full carbide head, so you can see what these users are doing.
So how are we gonna do this? So we got two number 9 pieces of rebar here, so there's no way we can miss that, right? So this is a standard tube cutter when it hits rebar. All right, we're in. So it's already chipped off the edge of that. I mean, and it's probably going to do damage to the tool when it gets hung up on that rebar. So the solution is that full carbide head Diablo rebar demon. Let's see what we got. Got it right there. It is. So that full carbide head, again, it's controlled movement of that rebar, removal out of the hole, continue to finish the hole that you need in the concrete, exactly where you started.
So in general, the two cutter system on the market can handle heats. Can handle heats, Jason, up to 800 degrees. Can handle up to 800 degrees. You need to be able to handle 1200 degrees for rebar. And these things right here, full carbide head, can handle up to 1800 degrees. 1800 degrees. So it can take the heat and get the job done. And that is critical for our design. So, but now some individuals are introducing full carbide head, and that's great. It's a beautiful thing, and it's better than the two cutter system on the marketplace. But we're going to show you here quickly that all carbide, full carbide, is not creating heat. So let's see if we can do this. Yeah.
So we got to compare the product here, full carbide head.
So you can see that it pops off very good. So, you know, there's so much in the technology of the carbide. It's the welding that you have itself to be able to take that heat. So it's not just about putting carbide on. So we're excited about that, and it's really changing the game about this. So, but we went out to the market, and if you look at a lot of applications, they want to be able to drill and fill, want to reduce dust, and you know that creates all this time and money when you make these holes. Right now, it's very cumbersome for users to be able to clean them. In fact, right now, what are some of the applications? They're using a pipe fitter, pipe cleaner. Yeah, they use this, they put it in, they pump, they drill, and then they have to try to blow it out. They use a pipe fitter. It's a very slow, cumbersome problem if you're putting anchors. But also, if you reduce dust itself, good things happen. Anytime you're drilling in concrete, you have to regrind and regrind or re-drill. It's like you're drilling with sandpaper. You know, it dulls the cutting edge of the bit itself right now, so it's not great. So if you can take that dust and remove it, good things happen, right? So the market historically, about 10 years ago, came up with these hollow bits, right? And it was a great idea. The whole idea was I can drill, I can pull out the dust, pull it, make it away, and then I don't have to clean out the hole. I can go right into mounting my anchor. The problem is the idea was great, but the execution was poor. Why? Because this is hollow itself. It's not a very strong, robust area. You also have insert carbide, just like what we showed you. You hit rebar, it's not very durable, it's not very long itself. You have these holes that try to suck up the dust itself, and they get clogged very, very easily. And then the last and probably the most limiting thing of this product is the cost. These things cost over $200. And it's amazing, we were just at job sites 2 weeks ago, and how many people are still buying them because they have to. They have an application, we have an environment, you're in a hospital, you're enclosed, your working environment, they'll say zero dust. So the idea is great, the execution is poor. Everybody's like, hey man, you know, great idea, but I'm gonna pay $200 for it. You know, I'm paying $15 to $22 today, and you want me to go to $200, right? So we looked at it, we said, we think there's a huge market potential to get what the users want and make it cost effective, all centered around productivity. Productivity, productivity, productivity. Everything we're doing now is around productivity. And we're not looking for a niche, where you just need no dust environment, we're looking at these next standard on how you want to go to market when you're drilling versus your concrete. So to show what we have here, the design, here we go. All right, so here is the design itself. So the first thing that we did, the bit itself is core, is solid. Unlike the hollow bit itself, this thing is solid. It's a solid core. And then you have the carbide head on it. So unlike the insert knives, you have carbide. So you can hit rebar, you can take the heat, go up to 1800 degrees versus the existing design that can only take it on 800. This can take the heat. Then we put a stainless steel sleeve around it. Yeah, I'll show it here. And we put a sleeve around it here. So very high quality. So what it's doing is sucking up through this whole sleeve. That's very high quality. And we can get up to 97% dust extractor. HEPA dust extractor. 97%. So that's killer. And the other thing from a cost efficiency we've done is we allow the vacuum adapter to be removed, unlike the existing systems. So you can pull it off, and you have one size that fits all SDS Plus, and one size that fits all SDS Max. So the retail we're looking for, depending on the size, it's going to vary. But for that light comparison of a 2-cutter at $17, our full carbide head 23, this will hit around $55 to $60. Game changer versus the $200 in the market. So now there's no reason why everybody can't use this bit for every application. And the productivity factor is going to make these easier. It's incredible. And what a great opportunity to introduce this product now with cordless technology improvement, with HEPA vacuums, dust extract. Now, more important, just think about 8-9 years ago when hollow bits were introduced, people were dragging around a vacuum cleaner. You're not hanging outside of a building and going to use that. It's just not realistic. Here, now, you have vacuum, you have backpacks, you handhold area, even tools that have HEPA vacuum. Now, the market is right to use this as the new normal, for every kind of drilling application for concrete. You guys fired up? Yeah. Fired up? Ready to tell the world about this thing? So we're launching this. The first launch here. You guys are the first ones to see this. We will start shipping hopefully April. If not, there's a couple of guys I want you to talk to over here. But it'll be late second quarter that we'll be introducing and shipping to the market. And then I think all of us get together, we talk about this right. We're going to really solve true issues of the job site today. And we're going to radically improve productivity. And we're not even talking about, the best for the world part, which is being healthier, dust free. If you guys ever go to a job site, what these conditions are absolutely terrible. We have the power to change all things. So hopefully you guys are excited about it. Heck yeah. Cool? Yeah. Right. Yeah. All right, so I guess we want to show it, huh? Let's do it. All right, so Steve, how are we going to show this?
So we're going to start with a traditional tube cutter, right? If you're preparing a hole, whether you're deep hole drilling or preparing a hole for either rebar, threaded rod doweling, a concrete screw or mechanical anchor, you have to drill and you're going to generate dust. So we're going to just show you how much dust is generated on the job site with a standard bit, and then that brush blow method, which the anchor companies recommend, it has to be done before you install that anchor. So here we go. So one hole is at 8-inch hole depth, preparing for doweling. That's generated outside, right? So exposed everybody, myself and everybody on the job site. Now, you got to get in here, and first thing I got to do usually is 3 or 4 pumps. Pour dust, still got dust, and then you got to grab the brush, right? You got to go back and make sure you keep back in this. Right? Now we got to go blow again. So back in the hole. Still residue left. That's one hole. And now we can proceed with our mechanical anchor, our concrete screw, or our epoxy anchoring preparation. So, how do we eliminate all that stuff? Eliminate all that dust, eliminate all those bits, increase protection and security on the job site, but also allow them to work as quickly as possible. More cordless drill. So, the solution is going to be the hand for rebar demon. All right, let's go. Same situation. A little bit of surface to be there. Woo! That's on the exterior. Let's take a look. See what happened on the inside. Although it goes up. Easily drill to fill. Drill the hole till it goes on to the mechanical anchor epoxy. One step. There it is.
This is our first launch, first publication of it.
So you're seeing it here first.
We've been a little busy here at World of Concrete.
Dude, it is like chaos, and there's so many new announcements from DeWalt. I understand why it's so busy.
One of the best, though, new announcements is, let me just say, DeWalt ToughSystem DXL. Just the size alone is something different than what we've ever launched before, and especially in the trades and the concrete customer base where the tools are bigger. It's not something where you have small drawers for small tools.
Yeah.
I mean, look. The DCH 735 inch and 7/8 hammer conveniently kitted in it, but let's talk about it. So from the ground up, this is a new system for us. You'll see, you know, job sites are rough. They're tough. You got to have a way to get around and over. So we got a new dolly, ruggedized wheels, on and off. Very, very easy to move around. Very smooth. Happy about that.
I feel like this should be like over with like David Copperfield. It's like a magic trick.
Well, you know,
there's so much going on. You don't know where to look, bro.
We'll get to the David Copperfield part in a little bit, I promise. So, you know, here at DeWalt, we really listened to our users and they said, we need something bigger. We need something we can roll out of our Connex. Here you go. So you have the deep drawer system, okay? Now we have the 2-drawer DXL system. Very smooth operating. I mean, look at all the stuff.
I like the latches. These are metal latches here.
Yeah.
How much weight can we put in here? Is there?
It's a lot less than I ate at the buffet last night, I can promise you out.
Nice.
When we get closer to launch, we're going to publish all the details. So
beautiful.
As you can see, though, too, the rail storage system on the side here. So tool storage, bin, peg hook, very versatile. Gives you the freedom to customize it for what you want, what your needs, what your workers really need.
So I'm so overwhelmed with what's going on here. I'm just really honestly trying to take it in. So what we have is a dolly.
We have the dolly.
Right. And then we have these larger boxes. And in between, we have ToughSystem 2.0.
And that's where the magic comes in.
Okay.
We're very always concerned, just like our battery platforms, of not locking our users out of systems that we've had. So our ToughSystem, as you can see, this is our 2-drawer unit. On this side, our 3-drawer unit. They lock in, they fit. Whether it's, you know, the light station, whether it's the storage unit, whether it's the decompact toolbox, or even power stack charger, power shift charger fit right on.
This is great. You know why? Because it's customizable.
That's right.
We're in commercial retail.
Most certainly.
So what we do is we'll take on rollout projects. We could start out with a stack this big to complete that project, but we're able to customize this down to exactly what we need over time, so we never have more than we need. We're not looking for tools that we didn't need in the first place. This is great.
Well, You know, to go one step further though,
yeah,
this is great for storage.
Yes.
But that's only half the story. Because we have the worktop that can be adjusted. This needs to be a mobile workstation as well. The worktop will integrate right into it, latch it down, and now you have the freedom to be able to turn your storage system into a mobile workstation as well.
Yes, this is great.
So how many times do you see guys like boxes or sawhorses or makeshift? Now you have a ruggedized stand.
Are you judging me?
No.
You've seen some...
No judgment here, but we've all done it. We've all, you said you were just taking fixtures, whether light fixtures or we're trying to, now you have a ruggedized, safe area to work. You can make it even more rugged.
When does this launch? So we're not near launch yet, is that right?
We're getting closer, probably into Q2 of this year. We'll be
so
looking
this
to
was
come
just
out
announced
Q3.
at this show? Huh?
Q3 will probably be a very safe bet for everybody. Yeah, but this is our first launch, first publication of it.
So you're seeing it here first. And if you like seeing it here first, then smash the like button. Free for you to do. Plus, Chris, you'll get 7 years of good luck the more they smash the like button.
Smash that like button, subscribe, subscribe.
Yo, Chris is part of the gang, the gang. He's DeWalt, but he's part of the gang.
The gang is important to all of us. Subscribe, get your ToughSystem.
Is there anything else you could share?
Yeah! We're at the World of Concrete, right?
Yes.
You're probably asking, why? Why are we talking about framing nailers here?
We have to frame forms.
Yeah, 35% of concrete is framing.
Of course.
So we have really thought about our design and continuous innovation with the Power Stack battery. We've got our new 21-degree plastic.
We got a 30.
And a 30. Now, we've always had the best in class kind of this form factor, ergonomics, weight to power ratio.
Yeah.
But why rest? I mean, let's go.
Fair enough.
So what we've done is we've increased performance, we've increased power, stronger magnesium rails, and extended magnesium rails.
They come with the extended? Is this something I have to buy additional? Or no?
It's going to be an additional.
Okay, just checking.
Yes. But look, people have been going all day long.
Oh, yeah.
How many of these do you see not set deep?
No, there's none that, I can't see any that are really proud. Nope.
They're ready to go.
Yeah.
So, depending upon whichever correlation you want,
it looks like it almost, the faster you went, the deeper they got. I'm usually a 30-degree guy, but we'll use the...
All right.
Let me ask you, does it have like a rapid function or no?
No.
Oh, it does have a rapid function. Nice. No, there's not really any need for ramp up or anything, right?
No. I mean, it gets the job done. We want to get rid of that, the pain of pneumatics and that cord and wherever you're at. So we improved the design, and we really think that this will just keep our users extremely happy and proud to be in that nailer platform of ours.
It's light and compact, though. You know, it doesn't seem, I don't know.
Well, our old design was still best in class, ergonomics,
Size, right,
weight, right? So keeping that size, weight, we just needed to ramp up the power, give her a little bit of juice, a little bit of...
And you did. So you're using the same style system, but you've innovated on it to make it better.
I would say more of the same style shape.
Yes.
Brand new mechanics inside of it.
Oh, it's all brand new.
Yeah, it's brand new. Brand new.
Beautiful. As far as the line of nailers, like, are we going to see like Gen 2s in
Most certainly. We have a lot of innovation coming in many different, in terms of the finish. You know, we just came out with the pin nailer, the cordless pin nailer. We have many other things coming down the road.
Beautiful.
But still very proud of our 18 gauge finish nailer. And the reason why we have that at World of Concrete is because for the chamfer, the guys had to get that nice corner edge.
Yeah.
It's a perfect concrete tool.
I can appreciate the compact size and the best in class ergonomics, even of that previous nailer. The only gripe I've ever heard was like ramp up time because of the flywheel system in the nailer. People felt the rate of fire wasn't as fast. Me personally, I'm not like a rapid fire guy anyway.
Right.
But it seems like you've eliminated that issue. Can you tell me a little bit about it, or how you've done it? Or
There is some new technology. When it comes closer to the release
launch.
date,
Okay.
which will be Q3, that'll be publicized. But for right now, just know that when you're trying to bump and you're trying to go, we want to just get it as quick as possible.
it is too. That's awesome, man. Thank you.
Thank you guys. Very proud to be part of the gang. Very proud to be on VCG. Great
Thank you,
job,
Chris.
Vince. Thank you for visiting us.
And I feel like when Chris tells you he's part of the gang, then smash the like button. Free for you to do. Doesn't cost you a dime. You'll get 7 years of good luck. Listen, I gotta get back to it. There is so much to see here, but I know you probably want more DeWalt, so I got something special for you. It's coming up right after this video. You're gonna love it.